use re-roof stuff like
Yep.
Awesome. And yeah, yeah, Jabari, just threw my email in there. So shoot me an email with the formal request, and I'll make sure to follow up with you after the call on it
Perfect.
just to double check. And once again, we'll get that PDF sent out to you guys as well.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're
Thank you.
very welcome.
All right, let's go with Chris McHenry.
Oh no, I didn't have a question. Sorry, did I? That must have been a reaction.
Oh, okay. Let's see, Johnny Montes.
Hey everybody. So again, thanks for all the good information. I would like to see what's your guys' best practices or best way to go about new constructions and ADUs and stuff like that, because I do have a lot of my business has to do with ADUs, and some of them are not built yet. Some of them don't have utility bills. And what's the best way to go about these without having to wait? Like, if I supply the plan sets, can we still move the project along? Because some of my builders, they're like, I can't wait till the unit gets built for me to get a permit. So what's your suggestion on moving those projects as efficiently as possible?
That's a great question, Johnny. Brett, do you want to fill this one? Otherwise, I can follow up with a more detailed response. I don't want to speak out of line, and I want to make sure I'm giving accurate information here.
My understanding is we can't do it until it's actually built. But if you do want to send me an email, I can forward it to our executives to double check on it. And the reason for that is just there's so much back and forth and extra cost that goes into that. And our baselines are based on construction being built. So our baselines don't really factor in the amount of time that it takes to work on a project, or, be able to use Aurora, all the tools that we use to work on a project before it's built. But that being said, I'll drop my email. If you want to send over an example, that's usually the best thing to do. And then I can send it to our executive team and get a final answer for you on that.
Thank you. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Let's go with Jan.
Hey, thanks so much for the presentation. At some point, I'd love to hear more about the history of the company and the spirit of the company and the philosophy. We can touch on that, but my main question is, would it be possible for a solar pro, and I'm new on the block, I came here from Canada, for a solar pro to have an ability to quote a roof that's very price competitive, just like the solar is price competitive, so that I could get a roof report on the fly, have so many squares, and have a price per square that I can just put in manually, rather than having like a significantly larger number to put in there and then not being competitive that way.
Yeah, sorry, you can go, Aaron.
No, I know we are working on a solution for you guys. I know, our direct team utilizes RoofFix. It's integrated into the app, and it's something that we're working on making more accessible and available, so you can get a quote almost instantaneously while you're in the home. I don't have an ETA on that just yet. I mean, we were talking about this just a couple days ago when we were in Las Vegas, and so if you want to shoot me a message, I'm gonna throw my email in that chat again. I can follow up with you on the timeline for when that is going to be available.
Okay. I'll be patient. It's okay. It's all good. Thank you.
Yeah,
and then
not a problem.
And then if I could answer the other question, I'll try to condense it and not be super, super long-winded. But our mission with Freedom Forever and Freedom Pros is to accelerate residential solar in the United States and ultimately in the world. We see it as an existential crisis with global warming, and ultimately we want to be able to put money in people's pockets, like to be able to save people money in this economy for a fixed cost commodity. Like, and once again, going back to what I originally said about like my background in network marketing, it was difficult. I love network marketing, but I was always pitching products ultimately that were more expensive than they needed to be. And with solar, it's something that everyone has to purchase. Like, I would sell energy drinks. I'm like, someone doesn't really need an energy drink. With this, everyone needs solar. Like with Puerto Rico, for instance, like we are saving lives by being able to provide energy in non-blackouts with batteries. Like, it's truly life-changing. So for us to be a part of that, and the second part is, serving and elevating everyone that we work with. So many people in the solar industry create a bad name for us. Like, they are all about making as much money as possible with taking advantage of the customer. We want to serve the customer. And yes, we want to make money, but we want to do that as a result of serving them so that ultimately we can spread residential solar throughout the United States. And we want to dominate. There are so many bad actors in this industry, and I love what you guys have done with your rev share model. It gives you the ability to actually serve customers. And we need to be the leaders. We already are. We're the #1 residential solar installation business in the US, but we're at about 10 to 15% market share. We want to be at 50% market share in the next 2 to 3 years. And ultimately, after we hit that, we want to be 70%. We want to dominate with economies of scale. And there's a world where you're going to see Freedom get down to $1.15, $1.20 baselines nationwide, so that you guys can ultimately sell at $2, 2.3, and smash the competition and give customers the deal of a lifetime, because customers are getting more educated. They're getting Teslas. They're starting to understand, okay, there's a fixed cost, just like they have with gas that goes into their car. And as customers get more escalated, it's going to push out the solar bros and the non-professionals and the people that are here for a cash grab and not an actual career. So that's our mission, is to accelerate residential solar and do it while serving the customer.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Amazing. Awesome. Let's go with
one thing I wanted to add just real quickly, guys, too, and one of the things that drove me to want to work with Freedom in general, that the fact that we don't have outside investors. We're a privately funded company. When you bring in outside investors, there's a greater motivation to realize profits, right? Versus, if it's privately owned, we have the ability to be more mission driven. Freedom operates off of very thin margins. Like Brett said, we're highly motivated to capture market share. And so very thin margins. Most investors wouldn't even accept the type of margins that Freedom is realizing, because it wouldn't be worth the spend. But that's not what's motivating Brett Sr. Like Brett mentioned. I mean, it's impact, it's contribution, it's solving a real world problem that we're all up against. And so that's one thing that really impressed upon me. It was just the mission driven nature of the organization. But anyways, just wanted to add that in there, and I'll pass it back to you guys.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And I see in the chat, people are excited about that. This is music to our ears. So thank you, gentlemen. By the way, Aaron looks like Conor McGregor, by the way. You know what I mean? You got on here and I'm like, hey, look at this guy. He looks like Conor McGregor, dude. That's a compliment, okay? Conor's a sharp dude.
He's a lot stronger. He's a lot stronger, I promise. You should see his workout photos. He's a lot more ripped than Conor.
Take off the glasses.
Oh my God.
All right, let's go with Anthony, and then we'll go with Carlos and Calvin.
What's going on, guys? Hey, thanks so much for the all the insight today. I do have one question. I believe I'm one of 2 reps that we have here that are in Washington State. Do we have an idea of what's going on there? I'm trying to build a team right now currently. I've got 2 guys that are looking to try to join, but with us kind of being in a limbo with the new law changes, we're trying to figure out what the next step is. So do we have an idea what's going on there?
Yeah, so
ahead,
you first have to join an orientation with Freedom Forever. So if you have whatever amount of people, if you want to send those to JC, and then we can get you onboarded there. The biggest stipulation, so you saw Nevada, they became, a W-2 state. So Washington's a little bit different. Their main stipulation is you have to live there. So as long as you are living there and you have an address in Washington, we can get you onboarded. I have to double check to see if they're doing minimum wage. It's a little odd. Like that's what Nevada is doing, where they do a minimum wage and they deduct it ultimately from, the commission. So it kind of evens out. But if you're living in Washington, that's going to be a huge asset. And anyone on this call that has Washington leads, I would definitely partner with someone who lives there, because now there's the ability where, people across the US can't necessarily sell there unless they're there. But it's a really good way for you to build a partnership with someone who is living there. And as you probably have seen, our baselines in Washington are substantially lower than any competition out there. So
For sure.
to reiterate though, get all the names of people that are living in Washington that want to sell there to JC or Wences. They'll send that over to us, and then we'll get you started in an orientation so they can give you the correct expectation.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Anthony, I sent you a private message as well, so we could talk off here. Do you live in Washington, Anthony?
Yes. Yeah, I live in Washington. I live in here, and I actually have a couple deals that I'm selling down in Oregon too. So I bounce back and forth, but I do have a permanent resident in Washington.
Perfect. Okay, we'll talk after for sure.
Perfect.
I have a meeting after this, a corporate meeting, but this afternoon we'll talk. Let's
Perfect. Thanks, JC.
Yep. Let's go with Carlos, please.
My question was actually with market also. Just wondering, like the West Virginia market. Was just wondering if there was a timeline for that.
I can't speak to that, but I can follow up with you on it. Brett, do you know by chance?
I don't have an update on the West Virginia market, but I do know in the next 24 months, we plan on being in 49 states. So every single state is on the peripheral, but I don't have an update on that specific market. But as Aaron said, we can get with our expansion team and ask them who are going to be the next 2 to 3 markets, and we can share that with your team.
And if you want to shoot me an email, it's in the chat. I'll reach out to the COO a little bit later today and see if they have a timeline in place for when they're wanting to get all that rolled out. So yeah, shoot me a message and I'll for sure follow up with you.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. And we'll take 2 more questions. We'll go with Calvin.
Hey, what's up, guys? Aaron and Brett, thank you guys so much for being here and showing us what's happening. Appreciate that. My question is this already live, and is it going to be, the adders that are being removed and all these other things that's going on? Is that also retroactive to all the other deals that are still in the pipeline, or is just moving forward with the new ones?
It's just moving forward, and it starts today.
Got it. Thanks.
So we'll make sure to get all of the baseline numbers over to JC. That's as soon as we hop off the call. That's our main priority today, is to get all of those sent over so you guys can have them updated. So worst case, it might be tomorrow, but we're going to try to get it done by the end of today. But the adder sheet is updated in your portal right now.
Awesome. Thank you very much. By the way, I put some really cool interviews in the chat of Brett Bushy Sr. on disrupting the solar industry. I've seen those interviews, especially the last one. I highly recommend you guys watch it. It's a very good podcast interview with him. It'll give you a lot of insight on his mindset. So, okay, great. Thank you very much for the updates. We will be sending an email blast with the updated baselines, with everything that we covered here today, some of the slides that Aaron shared today. Aaron and Brett, I really appreciate you guys taking the time. Our organization is really grateful for you guys. Thank you for taking the time, and we're going to keep crushing it. We're going to be doing our part to continue to lower these baselines for our customers, their families, our families, and to keep it going. So once again, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on, and have a great day. The rest of you, I want you guys to stick around because we've got some updates with our CEO and founder, Mr. Wences Navarro. So how many of you guys are excited about what you guys just heard? Please give me a thumbs up, put something in the chat. Listen, it just keeps getting better. I feel so incredibly blessed. Like I always say, how people ask me, how are you doing? Blessed and highly favored. If you ask me what's up, everything is up. I speak greatness into existence, and I am indeed blessed and highly favored. And so, that we have the foresight to be connected with the right installer. I don't know if you guys just saw. We saw the writing on the wall. There was a big installer like 2 weeks ago, Titan. They went under. Okay. Part of the reason is because the quality of their installs just wasn't the best. They were using different installers to install their jobs and stuff. And meanwhile, Freedom is doing all of these things, right? And by the way, the baselines that we're at right now today are still lower than what we started with a couple of months ago. So, not only is it a wash because of all these things that got removed, but we're still lower than we were a couple of months ago. So with that being said, the man of the hour, we've got Mr. Wences Navarro. Okay, I'd like to do a mic check, see if we got Mr. Navarro on the mic.
Can you hear me?
Sure can, brother. Floor is
All
yours.
right, cool. So I have to follow that up, huh? All the exciting updates. So, all right. Good afternoon, everybody. Almost afternoon here in California. We have some exciting updates, and I want to start out by saying this. We are about a little bit over 4 months since the pre-launch event, and I know we're getting a lot of questions about the launch event. So I am going to start out by covering that. But I'll start out by saying this. You guys have heard me say it's kind of becoming like a company-wide thing here. But if you can read my hat, it says, if you build it, they will come, right? And I use that. I've used that phrase several times. I used it last time I was on the Millionaire Mindset call, and I truly believe it because I witnessed it over the years, and I've been telling JC, since before we started this, that if you build it, they will come, right? On the mindset call, if you build it, I was referring to your mindset, right? So if you build the right mindset, the rest will fall into place. When it comes to company-wide, like what we're going to talk about today, this is a corporate update call. I'm not talking about mindset. I'm talking about infrastructure, right? So we've been working really hard on not just giving you guys the bare basics, right? I've never been one to settle for bare basics, right? I always say, you need to do things a little bit better, a little bit different, right? Innovate. And I've been able to do that throughout my career in several different industries. And we are building, the reason why it's taking a little bit longer than we anticipated to do the actual launch is because we want to have the right infrastructure in place, because a pre-launch event is kind of like let's call it a soft opening, right? If we open up a restaurant, we invite our friends and family, they come, they give us some feedback, and then we go from there, and then we do a grand opening, right? Same thing here. So I felt like we needed a little bit more infrastructure. We're gonna show you some of that here today, just so you can preview it. But just know that the reason for I'm not even gonna call it a delay. It's not a delay. It's just the right time is now. I feel like we're ready. We have the right people. I'm super excited about the quality of the human being and the individuals that we're attracting to the company. But remember, JC, we've been saying if you build it, they will come. And JC and I have been having some conversations that I don't want to get ahead of myself, but just like the solar industry is consolidating, you guys heard it from someone that's at the top of the food chain in the solar industry. I believe that the direct sales, MLM, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, right? I call it a distribution channel, but that industry is also consolidating. We're seeing right now some industry giants that are struggling, right? And I think it's part of my belief is that it's because of the lack of substance in what they sell, right? So like Brett mentioned earlier, like this is an essential service, and I'll talk a little bit more. I'm gonna let Mr. Juan Estrella, our COO here, give you guys and show you guys some updates on some of the back office, the technology, right, the infrastructure that we're building, and then I'm gonna talk about the launch event. We will be announcing the date and location here pretty soon, but I'll turn it over to Mr. Juan because I want him to show you some of the stuff that we've been working on, and this is a constant thing that we're going to be doing, just upgrading and upgrading and upgrading. I'm big on look and feel and functionality, so I want him to show you guys just a little bit. This is not the final version, but some of the updates that we have in terms of like the back office and software. And then he'll turn it back over to me, and we're going to talk about a little bit more about the event and the long-awaited Smart Money Club. Mr. Juan, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Wences. And Wences is also a big believer in providing the information front and center, giving everybody the analytics that they need of where they are with their team, and just building out there, right? So everybody has seen the daily dual team bonus volume set analytics right in front of you in the dashboard. And I just wanted to go over this a little bit with everyone.
This is ranking or calculating every single day at the end of the day. And it's a good way to keep track of where you currently are for this month. Actually, this is going to be the new version of the design, but last night there was a new update that was released, and that update actually has a date range here so that we are all on the same page with what this report is actually giving me, because this is your daily dual team bonus volume. This is telling you at this very moment, I don't have a builder order. And as you can tell, this important notice up here is giving me that same indication that my subscription is not active. And so it will keep track of what qualification I am short on and just put my focus towards that. If I navigate over to the report section under dual team bonus volume, I will have that similar report. And then right below that is going to be what we actually are paying out or have paid out on a monthly basis for the dual teams. And the ranks will show here. If it says Builder 500 in this report, then you receive the commission for that specific period. So we have been already paying out dual team bonuses. This is going to be our third month that we pay out. June is coming to an end soon. So we're making sure that we have all this information available for everyone to review and understand where you're at. Going back to the homepage here, if it says that you are inactive, there's a quick guide on how to navigate through updating your payment profile or running your own subscription, or just allowing the system to pick up the order at the end of the day. So it's a good little tutorial. We'll be doing more of these tutorials as well throughout all the pages here. The other good thing that I wanted to share within here is the leads page. It's not updated yet, but this status column is going to basically reflect what is showing in the Freedom portal. If it's site survey, if it's scope of work, or if there's a commission, M1, M2, or an M3 coming up soon, this status column will give you that indication. You will be able to understand where you're at with the specific lead and just provide that sense of reassurance that things are moving along. And so we'll also be enhancing more and more as we go, allowing the mentors to provide feedback, provide any additional notes, and so on and so forth. So at this point, I think Wences, do you want to touch on the next topic now? You're muted, I think.
All right, cool. Yeah, thank you, Juan. So guys, look, we're gonna continue. This back office is gonna evolve, and it's gonna get better and better. Just wanted to show you guys that we are working on stuff. We do hear you. We take all feedback. I always say all feedback is relevant, but we take it all into consideration. I know it doesn't happen, fast enough. It never does, right? But in the programming world for programmers, a day for us, a week for them is a day for us, right? So, but we're working on it, and you see it. I think you guys see the progress here. So, once we get done with functionality, I promise you the next thing is look and feel, right? So that is going to change. It's an ever evolving thing. So now let's move on to the launch event. So we are not going to announce that today, but we do have already the location will be Los Angeles, California. That is where we have the highest concentration of people at the moment. And for JC and I, it's local. I think it's a cool destination for everyone to come. And it'll be by LAX. So give us a couple of days here. We are going to be announcing. We're going to be discussing that on the leadership call tomorrow. And we're going to be finalizing the date and the exact location. And we'll announce it at some point next week. And we will give you enough time, to get your reservations and your flights booked. So that's coming in the next couple of days here. Just hang tight and we'll make the announcement. The other thing I wanted to talk about that I think you guys are going to be very, very excited about is the Smart Money Club, the long-awaited Smart Money Club. And I want to do a little bit of I want to tell you why it took a little bit longer than we anticipated. right? I don't when I thought about building and what the Smart Money Club was going to be, I wanted to, I'm going to make a bold statement, but I wanted to change the way that financial products and services are distributed, the way people access them and reach them, you know, and I think we are on track to do so. Probably in the next, I don't want to say give a date, but in the next week or so, you're all going to get an email and you're going to be added to a community where you're going to have access to all the information that we've already recorded and we've had for a while. But, you know, we want to give you bite-sized information that I want people to actually take action. So I think we finally figured out a system, a process in which we want people to access this information. So you'll see that in the next couple of days. But we really, really are attempting to change the way people access this information. Not we're going to start out here, obviously here in the US, because we have the subject matter experts to do so, but eventually around the world, right? So in the next couple of days, you will be getting an email with an invitation to join our private community, which is the Smart Money Club. And inside of that community, you're going to have access to the recorded tutorials, the recorded information. Inside of that same community, we're also going to be doing the lives, which I believe the round of lives, you guys are absolutely going to love the content, because for some of you, this content is going to be life-changing in terms of, you know, retirement, how you plan for retirement, and for some of you, even where you stand right now, like some subtle changes in what you're doing. You know, this information is really, really going to save you a lot of money and make you a lot of money. So that's coming. That's been a work in progress, and it's a lot of things are coming. You know, I told JC the other day, I said, give me 30 days, 45 days, and all the stuff that we've been working on for the last few months is gonna show. So Smart Money Club, keep an eye out. We'll make an announcement. Obviously, we'll send out an email, send out a text blast, but you will be getting a link to join a private community to get all this information and all the live information as well. So inside of the Smart Money Club, there's also something that's called the BYLD Savings. Okay, so BYLD Savings is a platform that Mr. Kevin Marino here was kind enough to make the connection to. It's basically a way for you. It's a company that negotiates your bills on your behalf, and they have the experience, and they've been doing it for a really long time to save you money, potentially, you know, hundreds of dollars on your bills, on your current bills, without having to switch any contracts, any carriers, nothing like that. I do feel that right now, you know, a lot of people are feeling the pinch, right? The financial pinch. So I think that bill negotiation program is going to help a lot of you and a lot of the people that you know to be able to save money. And then when inside of the we put that product, that service inside of the Smart Money Club, because the idea is to help you redirect that money and make that money grow, right? So money that we're going to find there, we're going to show you what to do with it, right? So that's coming here. Mr. Juan was trying to get you a preview of that today, but we couldn't do that. But that'll be coming up here in the next couple of days, like I said. Everyone will also be getting an email for our Smart Retirement Analyzer, right? So one of the things that I've been wanting to accomplish this for a while is that you hear people say later on in life, or even at a younger age, say, "Oh, no one ever told me this. No one ever told me that. They should have taught me this in high school. They should have, you know, these are the things that we should have learned in college." And that's cool. I get it. Maybe you know, the system is failing us. But at the end of the day, we live in a day and age where you can find information really quick, right? So what we're gonna do is make it where every single person that joins the Smart Money Club is going to have access to an elite retirement planning tool. And when I say elite, I'm talking about the best of the best, right? It's going to tell you exactly what your taxes are going to be down the road, right? If you continue down the same path, it's going to tell you how much you can save in taxes, and just by making subtle changes. So that retirement analyzer, when you see what I'm talking about, it's a game changer, guys. It's a game changer. It's the best in the industry. So you're going to see that. So you'll get an email here in the next couple of days. You're going to get an email from the Smart Money Club community, so you can join. And then inside, once you're in there, then you're also going to participate. You're going to get another separate email that or instructions on how to access the Smart Retirement Analyzer. And that is a very, very complex software, and you're going to get access to. So some really, really, really important things that are coming up here. All of the things we've been working on for the last 4 months, you're going to actually get to see them now. So exciting stuff. One more thing that I want to cover, and then JC, I'll let you chime in here. But we are going to be launching a new product, okay? And I told you guys from day one, right, that we are not a solar company. At least BYLD Network is not necessarily just a solar company, right? We are a distribution network, and that we are going to be doing that. Part of the reason why we're doing it now, as opposed to waiting, is because we do want people to make money. And in between these solar sales, right, we can be making money with this new product. I'm not gonna say what it is today. We had to finalize our vendor, right, and timelines, but it will be coming up here before the launch for sure, like maybe as early as the next 2 weeks. So we have been working on that. That'll be very, very, very exciting. So one more thing, we are going to be doing a company-wide funnel system, right? Mr. JC Rangel, Mr. Sam Bean, Kevin Marino, myself, you know, we take on as many three-way calls and private Zooms that we can. But at the end of the day, we have to let the tools do the work, right? So we have to become the duplicatable, systematic, tools-based company. So we are creating those tools. We're working on an evergreen webinar system. You guys have all seen them. You've probably been on some of these. It's those webinars where it feels like you're watching it live. You know you're not watching it live, but you're still watching it, right? So we are working on that. So all these things are coming up, guys. So here, next 2 weeks are going to be very, very exciting. And you know, I think once we all get to meet each other, and I look forward to seeing you guys all at the event. But we're gonna build up to it here with a lot of new stuff coming up in the next 2 weeks. So JC, anything else that I'm forgetting?
Yes, no. Well, there's a couple things that we still need to cover. So thank you for sharing that, Mr. Navarro. I'm excited about that, those new programs. And obviously I know what the new high ticket product is that we're going to be introducing. And I got to tell you guys, it's just as exciting in my opinion, or at least some people will be just as excited about that product as they are about solar. Faster installs, very comparable commissions. We'll be going through the direct sales comp plan as well. So stay tuned for that, right? Some exciting things going on. And that's also part of the reason for the launch event dates, because we want to make sure that we're not too early to the game and not be able to announce this stuff or introduce it or train on it, right? If we're going to get everybody there, or the majority of the people there, we want to make sure that we're doing it. So a lot has to do with timing, ladies and gentlemen. So keep that in mind. To wrap this up, there's some important updates that we're supposed to cover on the solar side, which is the following.
Yeah.
The banks now require company emails, company domain emails. The banks, most of the banks, so what happens is that Freedom is following suit. Most of the banks are no longer doing Gmail, Yahoo emails. They want the sales reps to have company emails, the solar company emails. So I believe the company emails that people are going to get are going to be myoncoresolar.com. Corporate people will have oncoresolar.com emails, right? The field, level 2 and level 3 reps. Only people that get the Freedom Portal, right? So people that get the Freedom Portal are level 2 and level 3 reps. So level 2 and level 3 reps will get a myoncoresolar.com email, like jc@myoncoresolar.com. So what's going to happen is that you'll be able to either log on through that server to that email and email directly from there, or there will be instructions on how you could tie that email to your Gmail. So if you like using Gmail, you want to continue to use Gmail or Yahoo, you can still reply from your regular email, but the recipient will see jc@myencoresolar.com. Does that make sense? And this also satisfies the banks, and this satisfies Freedom Forever, because Freedom Forever says, look, the banks as of July are going to require this. So being how smart they are, they want to get ahead of the game. They don't want to come into July and have thousands of reps switch over at the same time. That's not going to be good for anybody. So they're starting to ask that of us now, which makes total sense. That's what I would have done if I was in their situation. Now, the other thing to consider is this. There are transfers. Some of you guys have transfers. We literally have a meeting in 30 minutes regarding transfers. We're going to look at all of the people that are new recruits that are transfers from another Freedom dealer, and we're going to be looking at the list. So when we requested the transfers from Freedom, Freedom in the last 2 weeks said, hold on, transfers one thing. Where's the company email? So now the transfers are on hold because we got to create company emails for these people. So what do we ask of you? We ask of you to have a little bit of patience. Literally after this call, we have a call. Mr. Navarro, Mr. Estrella, Jessica, and myself are going to be going through all of the transfers. Mr. Juan Estrella is going to be doing emails for these people so we can satisfy the banks and so we can satisfy Freedom. So that's all getting worked on. Trust me, it's not in anybody's best interest for these people to be in limbo, and this is temporary. Now that we know what they need, we will be prepared from the beginning. So whenever somebody gets onboarded with us, whether they're a transfer or not, we have to create an email for them. And again, they will have the option to log on through a different server completely, through a different email system, or me personally, I would say I want to connect it to my Gmail because I like Gmail. That's going to be up to the particular individual, but the instruction, all of that is getting worked on, and trust me, it's not easy. There's a lot. Mr. Estrella is working overtime these days, right? So treat him good because he's doing the best that he can, and he does an amazing job. So we're working on that. Those are some of the updates. I appreciate everybody getting on. The last thing I will mention is this, and if the corporate staff, if there's anything I left out, please let me know. The other thing that I want you guys to know is the following. Tonight, I wouldn't be a good network marketer if I didn't promote. Tonight, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have a business presentation. You see how good we are. You've got to have that confidence. That's why you got to get on here and get your teams on here. Get on the event, support your teammates. We're all teammates. We're all part of the same company, the same vision. Let's promote, get our guests on there. Let's have the strongest showing that we've had. Get excited. How many of you guys are excited about the updates that you guys heard today? Right? By show of hands or put a number 1 in the chat. Well, let's go and show that excitement. Let's go and show that excitement through our actions, okay? There's a lot of good things down the pipe. A lot. Think about it. Our pre-launch event was February 17th. We have done so much in a short period of time. And it's just, and this is, imagine the momentum, the building of something. That is like pushing a heavy Cadillac. It's hard in the beginning. But once you get the momentum going, you can push it with a finger. We are pushing, we're building this not a Cadillac, but this Lamborghini of a company. We're asking all of you to push with us. Does that make sense? And it's from everything, from the 8 points that you generate daily to the way that you show up to the 5 o'clock meetings and participate and have your cameras on and promote to your team. And then, of course, I'm going to be flying to Texas tomorrow to meet with Mr. Sam Bean, Super Saturday in Texas. Who do you know in Texas? We've got to always be promoting. So with that being said, Mr. Navarro or Juan, is there anything that I left out before we close this out?
Nope, I think we're good.
I think we're good, sir. Thank you.
Well, everybody, this recording will be in the back office. We will email this along with some updates to the people that weren't able to see it. If you have any teammates that did not see it, we're not able to get on, please make sure that they watch the recording. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Take care.
Great update, JC.
Thank you.